And this is not something that hasn't been tried before. This is not uncharted territory that we would be moving into. Our peer countries on the continent have done it very successfully. And that is why our ports are being bypassed and ports in other neighboring countries are being favored by shipping lines.
The democratic important is that the people of South Africa are not represented in cabinet or in a lekgotla. They are represented in parliament. And therefore, any monies that are spent, who are the people's money, must be tabled in parliament so that people can know for themselves. We can't all be sitting here guessing how much the presidency, to deal perhaps with the second parts of the issues, which are what is civil society's involvement, how are the legacy foundations coming on board, but to the Treasury question, I've put forward to say it is going to be crucial that we are clear where the money is coming.
Partners.
We entered into something called the Statement of Intent. It was signed by all parties. The Statement of Intent makes it abundantly clear that if new parties are to be added to the Government of National Unity, that this has to be done in consultation with the parties that are currently in the GNU, and such a decision will be based on the sufficient consensus clause within that particular Statement of Intent. I don't believe that expanding the GNU is going to assist the GNU to go forward. I think it's going to complicate things even further. We already have 10 parties in the GNU. It's one of the largest coalitions in the world. And I think that there should be rather more energy and focus spent on improving the relations amongst parties within the GNU, particularly on how you find ways to consult, how you deal with conflict management and dispute resolution mechanisms.
The plan.
Government doesn't have petty cash. It doesn't have money that it puts on the side to say you can use this. All money that comes from the state must be used through an appropriation of Parliament. And secondly, there are budget votes, of which one of them might be the presidency, like vote 1, which the program, like a national dialogue, would be funded out of. Now, my challenge is, when the budget was being voted on, which, as you know, we just went through that process, the national dialogue was not specified as an item. Secondly, if you are going to do that, you must be able to demonstrate to people which programs are being shut down, because Parliament has given over 2.1 trillion rand to say, here's how it's going to be distributed. If you take 400 million rands of that or 500 million rands of that, something has to give. Now, what is that thing?
And so, if you are one of the millions of South Africans sitting at home, black South Africans, who are asking themselves the question, what has BE ever done for me? We've created 100 trillionaires. But what has it actually done for the Cabelos of the world? What has it done for you and your family? Why do too many of our citizens still languish in poverty, locked out of opportunity? And I ask you, do you want clean water in your taps? Do you want a government that spends money on you, not on politicians? Do you want electricity that you can rely on? Do you want your children to have an opportunity to have a job, and if they don't want to work for somebody, to have the freedom to take flight as young entrepreneurs with the nurturing and support from a government that's working with them? Then I say to you today that this is your plan. Take control of it. Take hands with us and join us in this fight, because the time for dialogue is over. It is now time for delivery. It is now time for action. And it is now time for the majority of South Africans to really start to taste the fruits of freedom in South Africa.